podcast with you with Bill Burr.
Oh, yeah.
The recent one. And
Fun one.
it is a really fun one. And I also, their site or their view on, I definitely have a better feeling than I have in the last few weeks that these protests and everything that everyone's fighting for is actually, something is going to happen from it. There is going to be some sort of new law or new agreement or new whatever. There will be some sort of amazing silver lining from this.
Yeah.
Because everyone is so adamant at this time where it's like everyone's done. Like there's such a large group that is done with brutality in general.
Yeah,
like, I mean, you see cops do it. It desensitizes other people to where they go out and do it. You see all these school shootings. You see all these club shootings. You see shootings in general, homicides all the time. And so if the law enforcement, I feel like, is giving that brutality to someone who's already had a violent past, and then they're getting more violence from someone who's supposed to serve justice and peace, I get that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sick of seeing that shit too. Like, everyone should be.
Yeah.
Everyone should be so fucking furious about what's happened. And I feel like there's a large group that has very good intentions of what they want to see the change in.
Yeah.
And so I feel like because there is such a large portion of the group that's very organized and there's tons of resources to find out where the correct place to donate. If you're donating to the wrong place, there's so many people that are just laying it out in front of you. Like, and you can fact check them very easily. And so, I mean, I don't have a ton of money to give right now, but I'm still giving money. Like, I do want to, like, when I sign a petition, I give a certain amount to whatever organization. I look it up and go from there. Now, I did donate to Black Lives Matter, and I did research it.
Piece of shit.
That it does go to a lot of white people. But it also goes to a lot of different groups that help people of color and people of kind of a lower income situation. It does all go to that too. But it's also falling in the hands of someone like Bernie Sanders, where I'm not upset about giving money to Bernie Sanders because, one, he's been fighting this battle alongside everyone for so long. He's always been on the right side of history. I've never looked at Bernie Sanders and been like, what he fought for is ridiculous. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You can never say that he's inconsistent.
Exactly.
He's very consistent.
You can look back on his history and he's like, he does stand for so many great causes, and he protested at so many different protests, and he still protests. It's great to see. It was also good to see Mitt Romney go to a protest.
That was cool.
It's a whole different playing field. Like, you got to look at all of those, like, pluses that you're getting in there.
Yeah, fucking.
So.
We've got Mormons on our side now.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
Fuck.
But, yeah. So. Side note.
Yep.
Wait, no, I feel like I have more to say. What do I want to go into right now? Because this is going to change the whole.
Well, everyone, if you haven't seen it yet, you should watch.
Oh, that's what I wanted to bring up. You're a fantastic individual.
Dave
I love
Chappelle.
You. Yep. I watched it.
What's it called?
8:46. 8:46. 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And 8:46 is also the time of Dave Chappelle's birth. He tells that in his little.
Yeah, he ties his own personal experiences with. Mm-hmm.
It was just seriously.
What's going on.
He says it so well. And
great speaker.
Like, I don't think I realized it until the last year, probably the last 2 years, where I was like, I always thought he was funny, thought he was awesome.
Yeah.
But then the last 2 years, I feel like I've taken him in a totally, like, I didn't realize how deep he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like
he's almost philosophical.
Yeah.
He's
an amazing storyteller. When he tells a story, I have ADD like a motherfucker. I do not listen to most people. You guys hear me cut Marty off all the time on here.
That's bullshit.
Can't not listen to him. He is like, I get so engaged and so into it because it's coming from a place where I'm like, his heart's 100% open. And it's to a bunch of people that he doesn't know personally. You know what I mean? He's speaking to so many different people, but on a very personal level for everyone. And he makes it very real, and it makes you able to understand it in a whole different way.
Yeah, a good comedian.
I love comedians.
A good comedian in general. This is just my take on it. I don't know if this is. I might be boxing them into an idea, but to me, a good.
I mean, I for sure have.
A good comedian takes something ordinary and shows it from a different light.
Yeah,
that's what makes it funny.
But finds it in the best light.
Yeah, but it's seeing things from a different angle. It's seeing things from a different perspective, in a different shape. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like you're looking at an apple from this side, but you don't see the rotten side or whatever. You don't see the shadow.
Yeah,
you're not looking at what you can't see. And comedians are always really good at shining the light on those shadows and going, oh, look, there's another angle here.
He does. And I think he does such a good job in this little excerpt or show. It's under 30 minutes. So I don't really know what to call it. It's like a special kind of deal. I don't know.
It's the new platform of a special.
Yeah. And fuck, I lost my train of thought. God damn it. I smoked weed. Oh, man. God, it happened so fast.
I ate an edible. Did you eat an edible?
Bullshit. No, I just smoked.
Did you feel that edible the other night?
I passed out, so I'm assuming I did.
Because this shit at 10 milligrams, which normally, you know me, I don't normally dabble in the fucking devil's cabbage, but
stupid.
Fuck. That shit got me introspective and out of body everything.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So Dave Chappelle has opened me up to a whole different side of him, even though he probably was that whole side this whole time. So what I was gonna say,
you see something
is
new.
that we should watch like his old stuff.
I've seen all of his stuff.
I feel like I need to like rewatch all of his old stuff. I've watched his old stuff, but I want to watch it now. Like with like a new mindset or whatever. I also want to see the.
I've seen every single thing Dave Chappelle's ever done.
Yeah, you probably have.
I've been a huge fan since.
But you're a huge comedian buff too. Like I don't think you realize how much you are. Because here's the deal: I used to hate comedians. I used to hate stand up.
Really
awful. But it was because it's going to sound so mean, but I dated a guy and the comedians he liked clearly sucked.
It wasn't your thing or whatever.
It was shitty. It was the worst shit I've ever seen. And thank God I love your comedians. Because usually when I watch a special with you, I'm like, I kind of dread it at first because I'm used to hating them. So it's really hard for me to get past that.
I'm a comedian nerd too. I'm like, I fucking...
You like stalk them to the point like you know their height.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Sometimes you're like, he's a tall guy. You know that? And I'm like...
That's true. And like Christopher Titus, he collects cars. You know? No, but...
or you'll be like, they had a kid. He's with his girlfriend. They're not even married. And it's like, why do you know all this stuff about that? Like...
I remember being really little. I've always just fucking... I loved comedy.
Yeah.
We had one of those... Great. Do you remember those VHS tapes? And they had that weird... logo. It was like pink, like triangle on one side and a fucking yellow circle and a red thing going through it. It was like just the cover for the VHS.
Oh
thing
yeah, okay.
That you just
I caught up with you.
You record over.
Yeah,
it's
like a blank tape.
A blank tape. Yeah. My parents had one, and it was Tommy Davidson on one side. I don't remember what was on the other side. Was it Eddie Murphy? But I watched Tommy Davidson stand up. Which, if people, you don't remember Tommy Davidson, he was in a bunch of movies. He was a comedian in the 80s, and I think he was on In Living Color. But his stand-up special from HBO that my parents recorded, I watched probably way too young, like when I was 4 or 5, nearly every night for like 5 years. And it was the funniest fucking thing because he was so animated. And he was just fun about it, and he made fun of shit, and he swore, and I thought it was hilarious.
That's probably what kept you from being a weirdo.
Probably.
Like,
John Leguizamo.
comedy made you not as much as a weirdo as you could have been.
I thought I watched all of John Leguizamo's things.
Yeah.
No, he's not technically a stand-up comedian. He does like one-man shows on Broadway. But his first HBO special, I can't remember what it's called, but that shit is the darkest and funniest shit ever. I cried laughing, and then I cried of emotion. As a little kid, it was just like fucking...
So many emotions for you to go through.
So good. Because he was like, it was his whole life. It
See,
was
that's
dark.
what happens to me every time I watch a show of anything.
That's true. It's like watching a dog show about like some rescue dog. They're like, he'll
that's
get
the
put
worst.
down if he can't put on a leash. And she's like...
It was so sad. It was him laying on his bed after he peed himself.
Oh, it's so sad.
Oh,
it was
broke
sad.
my heart.
Poor
And then
babies.
today, fucking Cricket's snapping at us.
And I was like, put it down. I'm done. Fucking...
Can I tell my super gross story I've been wanting to tell you for like ever?
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
Okay, so
I don't care what it is. I just don't want to hear it. Because if you think it's gross...
I mean, when I first read it, and here's the thing, I haven't shared this with anyone, and I feel like I really need to let it out. But there was this gross story that I found. I don't know what the fuck I was reading. That is probably Reddit. And some girl was talking about how she and her boyfriend were about to get it on. And so they like start doing it. And he's like, there's something in there. And she's like, well, I'm not on my period. She's like, so what could be in there? And she hadn't had her period for like 2 weeks at this point. Like, this is 2 weeks ago. She last assessed what was happening up there. And she comes to find out that she fucking left her Diva cup up there.
What?
For 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, Marty.
Oh my God. Don't you feel it?
You would think. I was like, this bitch, I don't know what was wrong with her for her not to know. Or like, why aren't you should be up there sometime within 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, you should know if you...
So
It'd be like me, like, oh fuck, I've had a condom on my dick this whole time.
So
I mean, I know you
gross.
can't see it, like, but shit.
So
Fuck that.
she takes it out, right?
Damn her
And they're
numb
just gonna
vagina.
like get it on. They're just gonna take it out, throw it to the side, still do it.
Wait, there's more to this story?
Yeah, and so all of a sudden they're doing it, right? Horrid smell. Horrid.
No. Why?
Disgusting. And then it gets worse, Marty. She queefs
Why?
and sludge comes out and lands on his leg.
And then he took her to the animal hospital and they put her down, right? This is where it's going.
And then he left. She
Fuck.
took a shower and fucking like vinegared the shit out of herself.
That's disgusting.
So gross.
That's
So
disgusting.
foul. And I was just like, how do you not know that's up there? Like, no. It's such a gross
She had all this dead human
She probably
excrement or whatever you call it.
blood, juices,
Like-
just things just sitting up there marinating, fermenting.
She could die from an infection from that shit.
100%. That's where you get like toxic shock syndrome from tampons.
All kinds of shit.
I mean, she was even like, I was feeling kind of weird.
I'm sweating. That's
And
disgusting.
I was like, how would you not feel sick? Like, if
I thought it was weird that
if
I was...
I don't poop once a day, or at least twice, like that's minimum, then something's wrong. Your body was trying to tell you something at some point. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, God, that's awful.
Yeah, it was a pretty, such a gross story.
How did you not know that?
I don't know. Gross as
It's the
the
grossest shit I've ever heard.
You know what is really gross too is so Marty and I went on this hike about a week ago.
Yeah, fun.
And we were just going to take the dogs for a quick like 30-minute doodle and
They were
just
like,
be
"Oh."
out in nature.
So we have like the All Trails app. I'm like, oh, there's that one place. Indian painted rock.
Yeah. Which
it's like
those Indian paints are not